Also, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be sharing with you guys our journey of starting our cleaning business from $0, zero clients, 5 months ago. And today we're going to be sharing our numbers on how we grew this thing to over $30,000 a month and how we're going to continue to grow it to $83,000 a month. But most importantly, for you guys to see what we're focusing on so that you guys can look at your businesses and seeing what you're focusing on and seeing those two things match up. And right now, if your business is not growing, it is most likely because you're focusing on the wrong things. You're working hard. Who in here works hard? I said this last week, but who in here truly believes that they work hard? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you work hard. Look at that. Saif is like serious. He's like actually raised his hand in here. I like that. Right? Raise your hand. Either in the chat or your hands up. Okay, cool. Cool. Keep your hands up, actually. Everybody keep your hands up. Look at that. I got my hand up, too. I can see on Katie's screen, my arm. I should flex. Can I flex it? Oh, look at that. That looks good. Okay, good. Keep your hands up. You guys work hard. For real. Keep your hands up if you work hard. Pat, raise your dang hand. Follow directions. Jose, Marie, God damn. Thank you. Stefan, raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All you guys work hard, right? Cool. Keep your hand up if you have $1 million cleaning business. Okay. You're working on the wrong shit. Okay? So, your goal today is to understand that it doesn't matter how hard you work if you're working on the wrong things. You must be working on the right things in order for your business to actually grow. So that's what we're going to document today. I just want to show you what we're doing so you guys can see to match up what you're focusing on in your business to see if you're in alignment with what we're doing. Okay? Cool? Is that helpful for you guys? All right. Also, you guys can see that we have some stragglers here next to Katie. We have Keziah's next to Katie, and we have Megan behind Katie, and they're supposed to be working, but they're probably just going to be paying. They're probably going to just be listening in on this call. So it's totally fair. But they have now graduated into the office, and they get the benefit of having Katie and I help them, show them what we've been doing over the last 5 months, so then they can do it, and so we can actually continue to grow this thing. Because if it was left to me and Katie, this thing would stop growing right here. These calls would stop being very much fun because we would just be stuck, right? Most of you guys are probably feeling very stuck because you're the ones who are doing the do. You're like, I don't know what to do. Well, focusing on the wrong things. So, without further ado, that rhymed. I'm going to share my vision sheet with you guys. So if you guys are brand new here, over the last 21 weeks, 21 weeks ago, for 21 straight weeks, we've been documenting this growth of this business with this vision sheet. So this vision sheet is what I call all the important numbers in the business, what we focus on to ensure that we continue to grow. Okay, for 21 straight weeks since 3/4, the week of 3/4/3/10 of March, I guess that's March, right? We've been doing this meeting, and you guys can see here on the very first week, Katie, how much money did we make week number 1? You're on mute. You can just hear it in the background, but
$400.
Oh my gosh, we started out rich, started making lots of money. Who was this claim, Katie? Do you remember?
Ryan Overcash.
No. This was a referral from the gym. This was somebody who I saw at the gym. I'm like, hey, bro, like, let me clean your house. I know you got a dirty ass house. Let me clean it. So that's where it started at. So you guys know, like, we started with 0 clients, right? Actually, 1 client from the gym referral. I'm like, let's go. So that was March of 2024. 21 weeks later, this is where we are, 8/3 to 8/9. And so last week we did 142 job ticket hours. Now, for all you OGs here, you guys know what job ticket hours. Some of you newbies on here, it's not your fault. You are not stupid. You've just never been taught this before, but you might not know what a JTH is. So in the chat, there's going to be some amazing humans. We'll type in what a JTH is so you understand the language we're speaking so you can feel like you're part of the cool kids. Okay? So all you OGs, please type in the chat for anybody who doesn't know what a JTH is. Please. Thank you. Okay, so last week we did 142 JTH, also known as job ticket hours. What the heck does that mean? Our goal is to get to 213. Once we get to 213, we will have a $40,000 a month business. Okay. Our average cleaner hours last week was 28 hours, and our goal is 28. Freaking awesome. Great job. Great job. Number of cleaners, last week we had 7, and our goal was to get to 8. So really, we just needed 1 more cleaner, it looked like, to be on track. So That's pretty cool. We're not that far away. We just need to get more cleaners. The problem we're running into is all these dang cleaners. They want to come to the office. They want to hang out with Katie and I. It's like, shit. Every time we bring a cleaner in, we lose cleaners out in the field. Freaking A. It's actually, so if you guys want to blame the reason why we're not at 40K, it's because Zaya and Megan's fault. Let's just blame them. It's definitely their fault. It's definitely their fault. See, I got Megan to pay attention. It's good. It means she's working. Okay, but that's our goal. That's the reason why we have numbers is like we need 8 cleaners on average to work 28 hours a week. And if we do that, we have a $40,000 a month business. How many of you guys, if you guys just like made this really simple, if you just had 8 cleaners who were working 28 hours a week, could you guys do that? Not that difficult, right? Make it simple. Make it simple. Okay. So, this is the start of the week. Our projected monthly revenue is at 26,000. Our monthly revenue, 10,000. Weekly revenue. Last week, we did $7,600. Again, our goal is $9,500. So we were a little shy on the revenue goal per week. Revenue per clean was 212. Weekly total cleans, 36. You guys can see over here the green. I can make this a little bit bigger for all you guys who are visually impaired. Over here on the green is our goal. So if we average 48 cleans a week at an average of $200 a clean, we'll make $9,500. Math. Okay. And so you can see here that we were about 12 cleans short from the week, which again, if you do the math on it, one cleaner, do two cleans a day, that's 10 cleans. So we're about a cleaner short. That's really, so although you see that the business is $2,000 short, really we're just a cleaner short. We're just one cleaner short of being able to get to $40,000 a month. Okay. Okay. So let's actually get down into the revenue. So how this vision sheet is broken down to is broken down into the different or the important aspects of the business. We have revenue, which really is, I would consider this like cash flow management, even though we're not going to specifically talk about profit on this sheet. Revenue and expenses would create cash flow. In this case, we're just talking about revenue. We have marketing. We have sales. Ooh, sales is really good. For all you guys who love sales, you're going to really love this call. I'm going to share something with you guys here. We're also going to talk about cleaner recruiting, as you guys can see. Like if we don't have a system to bring in new cleaners, then how are we going to get a new cleaner? How are we going to find 8 cleaners if we're not actually bringing in new cleaners, if we keep on losing cleaners to the office? The heck. We're also going to talking about what are things at the bottom? I forget the things at the bottom. It's not the fun things. That's why I forget about it. It's like correction cleans, discounts, complaints. I don't want to talk about that stuff, but I guess we have to.
But how about those recurrings?
Ooh, but the recurrings. We're going to talk about recurrings. Cool. That's actually what makes your business uneffable with. Okay. So let's talk about revenue. So last week inside ZenMaid right now, for the month of August, we have billed $10,403 in QuickBooks. We have collected $11,849. Katie, why are those numbers different? And why is it important that we track both?
Yeah, there's a lag. So if we send a bill out in ZenMaid, it takes anywhere, depending upon how quickly they pay that invoice, a few days to actually hit the bank account. So QuickBooks is actually hit the bank. ZenMaid is billed.
Yeah, there you go. And sometimes we don't collect all the money from the month before, and so some of that spills over. But ultimately, we want to be able to see the difference between what we bill versus what we collected. And if there's big differences, then we want to figure out why there are big differences. And a lot of times it's because we're actually not collecting, and we need to have somebody focusing on collecting those invoices. Okay, so let's talk about last week's revenue was billed. So we had initial clean revenue was $4,003. Excuse me, we had $7,600 was last week's billed revenue. And out of that $7,600, $4,000 of it was from initial claims, and $3,613 was from reoccurring. So, pretty even split, which is pretty cool to see. If I go back and look at weeks before, I think last week we were at 4,400, 5,800. Okay, so yeah, that's actually that's a lower week than we've had over the last 3 weeks, which might take into account for why we had a lower revenue week. Aside with also not having enough cleaners, but that makes sense. Okay, outstanding invoices. So we track outstanding invoices with 2 metrics: more than 7 days and less than 7 days. So for less than 7 days, we have $2,000 that's outstanding, and then for greater than 7 days, $250. So good job of collecting invoices. Both Katie, I think Katie's actually the one who's doing invoices right now, right? Cool. Great job. Okay, marketing. Okay, everyone's favorite section, the marketing section. This is where everyone thinks that they make the money. So with marketing, actually, how many of you guys love marketing? How many of you guys love marketing? Just like, I want to get more leads. How many leads? Which lead cost, bro? Lucas? Yes, I'm talking to you. Lucas gets the best lead cost. All right. Now, marketing is important. We need marketing. We need new leads. We need fresh blood coming into the business. Okay. So with Google Local Services, holy moly, we spent $338 last week on Google Local Services, and we spent $1,000 on Facebook. So altogether, we spent $1,300 on marketing last week. I think this is actually a little bit higher than we spent before. Is that right, Katie? We should look back over here. You have to go back and forth between mute and unmute because I can hear myself.
It should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are we spending more money?
So we can fill our cleaner schedules, so we can continue to hire cleaners, so we can produce more revenue.
Yeah. So if we understand the business in different seasons, okay, hopefully this will help you guys. Some of you guys might have been in business for a long time. And by long time, we'll define long time by years. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Some of you guys have been in business for a decade, in the same dang business for a decade. Okay. Some of you guys have been in business for a couple months, like us, right? And so understanding what season of your business in has less to do with the time that you spent in business and just you making the commitment of like, what season am I in my business? And so the season that we're in is called growth. Okay. Our biggest goal is to grow this thing. We want to grow the amount of cleaners. We want to grow our client base to a place where there's actually something left over that we can consider a profit. Okay. And so with our goal that we do not want to be the operators of this business because our plan is to have multiple of these businesses. We cannot be the operators and we can't successfully be operators of this business and have multiple locations. Okay. The only reason that we're able to do this location right here is because we have an operator in our first location. So again, some of you guys know who we are. Some of you guys are just like, I saw this Facebook post. I saw this guy on Facebook. Don't know who he is, but he's doing this free thing. I like free shit. Good, by the way, good. So some of you guys don't know that we have a first location. Okay. That we spent 4 years. It'll be 4 years old in October. We started that location on accident. It was an oopsie. It was we have a problem and we want to start the business to solve that problem. Okay. Our problem was that we owned Airbnbs and we need somebody to clean those dang Airbnbs. We're like, why don't we just start a business? And then 6 months later, we started taking on a couple other people's Airbnbs. We're like, what do we do? Should we continue to grow this thing or should we just put the brakes on, Katie? And what do we decide?
Well, I really wanted to just throw it away, but we did not quit.
Yeah. We decided to turn it into a business, right? And actually, Katie was the one who ran this business, that first business. And she's the one who literally grew the thing from zero to $100,000 and something a month. Katie did that, right? She was the operator. And fortunately, along the way, we found somebody who, I don't want to say replaced Katie, but she took over the operations of the business. And she started in January, and now she's the one who operates that business. Katie, how many sales calls have you done for Bozeman 5-Star in 2024?
0.
How many interviews have you done?
0.
Actually, I forgot to, we asked this question yesterday. Okay, so she's done 0, right? And I've done 0 as well, just so you guys know. How many team meetings have you done for Bozeman?
2024, none.
0. Cool. So understand that the only reason that we can do this location, you guys are watching this, the only reason you guys are watching this stupid freaking live training is because there's somebody who operates that location. And when I say operates, she literally does everything. Okay? Now she's got a team as well, right? But that team doesn't include Katie and I. We are the coaches to her. We coach her. I spend 1 hour a week with her. And we go over this sheet for her business, our business, I guess you could call it, the Bozeman business. And then Katie also has a one-on-one with her as well. And that's the extent of our weekly communication with that location. Okay. So the only reason that's able to happen is because we have an operator who operates that business. And so our goal is to do that again with this business as well. And that's why we're bringing people into the office, like Keziah, like Megan. They'll have the first dibs at becoming the person who's able to operate this business. So Katie and I can go sit on the beach and go drink pina coladas. Yeah, no. So we go do it again, right? Like, that shit's boring. Like, we want to go do this again and again and again, right? Like, think about this. Like, I'm doing this call for you guys for free. Like, I don't get paid for this. Like, it's fun, right? And all fairness, though, I do learn from it and also holds me accountable. So, like, there is benefits. There's actually a lot of benefits. However, like, I like doing this way more than I like sitting on a beach or like doing anything else. Like, I've done a lot of things to realize what I like doing. This is what I like doing. I like growing things. Okay. Okay. Muscles. I was researching muscles. Okay. Kitty's sick. Kitty's a perv. You guys don't know this, but Kitty's pervy. I'm just joking. She's really not. Just so you know, Kitty's first email. Some of you guys know this. You know how like when you guys created your first Yahoo or you created your first MSN or first AOL email, okay? Katie's goody two shoes. Goody two shoes at yahoo.com. Okay, like Katie's a goody two shoes. All right, Katie, do not tell them what mine is. Okay, do not do it. Okay, let's keep going. Anyway, the whole point is that we're in growth mode. That's why we're spending more money, because we're growing. Like, I'm not concerned about profit. I'm not concerned about making money from this dang business right now. Okay, I will pour as much money as we can into growing this thing to get us to a place where there's actually profit to be left over. Okay? So that's why we're spending more money on marketing. Long story. That being said, last week we got 63 Facebook leads. Okay, and you guys can see here, thanks to, I think this was Lucas's idea, I put the little cost per lead right there. So you guys can see it. We got $16 leads. Facebook Messenger, we got 6. Missed calls, we had 10 missed calls. Google Local Services, 3. I should put that in there, 3, right? That's like 100. We're spending $117 per lead on Google Local Services. Dang it. 7 homepage leads. That's the most homepage leads that we've ever got. That's really good. 4 incoming call leads, 0 referrals, 93 leads. So $14 a lead. As you guys can see here, anything less than $20 a lead, that's pretty good. Okay? If you're able to get less than $20 leads, you're doing okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is sales. Okay. You can get all the leads you want, but if you don't convert those leads, it doesn't matter how good your lead cost is. So let's talk about sales. So number of spots open is 5. That's pretty low considering we just need a couple more cleaners. Actually, yeah, a couple more. We need 8 specifically to get at $40,000 per month. Okay, so last week, outgoing calls, you can see I did 43, Katie did 50, and we have a new addition. We had Megan. She did 169 calls last week on her very first week. And my calls specifically, you guys will notate here, these are all for recruiting. And so Katie's and Megan's were actually outbound sales calls. So as you can see here, I actually didn't do any sales calls. This is the first week. It took me 21 weeks. After 21 weeks, I have now done 0 sales. This was the very first week that I did 0 sales. So it only took me 5 months to get there. But now Katie did 21 quote calls last week and she closed 11. And Megan on her first week did 24 quote calls and closed 11 people. Week number 1. Zero sales experience. Right? So pretty wild. And you guys can see here that out of those quote calls, $2,200 Katie produced, and then Megan did $2,800, so a total of $5,128 of new projected client revenue. Pretty cool. Okay. But where the bread and butter is made, you got to have new sales. But how you can predict whether a business is truly going to grow or not is based on the recurring. And so conversion calls last week, Katie had 7, Megan had 1, and altogether we had 8 reoccurring clients convert. At again, $2,000 of monthly revenue. That's how your business grows. Okay, convert people. Okay. Now, the reason why this is really cool is that we brought in a cleaner from the office in week number 1. She closed 11 sales. How many of you guys would like that? To be able to have a system. By the way, it was a system. Katie and I are not special. We're not secret sales slayers. Okay, we just have a system. How many of you guys would like to have a system that you guys could copy? You guys could do it yourself, and then eventually maybe even teach your team how to do that. Anybody be interested in that? Bueller. Bueller.
For sure.
Oh, Isaac says he's in. Isaac's in. No, only 4 people. Only 4. Okay, only people who say yes are going to get access to this thing. If you guys don't say yes, you're not going to get access to this. Okay. Katie's going to monitor the chat for me. So, if you guys don't say you want it, then you're not going to get it. If you don't ask, you shall not receive. All right. Good. So, let me show you guys this. So, inside school, okay, inside school, for all you guys who are inside school, you're going to be very happy. Look under classroom and see this little module right here, how to fill the cleaner schedule. Watch this. Oops, how do I do this? Sorry. Edit course. It is now published. You guys now have this module inside school. And so this is the same system that we had Megan on board with. This is the same system we've been using for the last 5 months that has allowed us to sell 20 plus people every single week. Okay. And it's about as detailed as we can possibly get. You guys can see a little preview here. I'll show you the categories here. Okay, so we have how to book initial clean, right? The tools. So lead nurture script. So once you get a lead, what do you say to that lead in order to get them on a phone call? Okay, there's a script for that. It works very well. And by the way, it's new. The old lead nurture script, to drag the process out, this lead nurture script is like concise and to the point. It's so much better. Okay, I even give you lead nurture live examples. Okay, I show you exactly how to do this. I show you as simple as like what browser tabs do you need to have up when you're actually doing a cold call. Like try to make this as freaking monkey see, monkey do as possible. Okay. The cold call calculator. There's a brand new cold call calculator. Okay. This cold call calculator, you guys can have access to this. I'll give you the overview. There's actually 3 different calculators. There's a maintenance clean, a deep clean, and move out clean calculator. Try to make this as simple as possible. Okay. Oh, and now there's 3 scripts. We have 3 scripts. Okay. We have a scheduled cold call script. We have an inbound cold call script. We have an outbound cold call script. Okay. So there's 3 scripts. So this is also a new addition. And then what happens after you do a cold call? Depending on whether they booked or didn't book, you have, here's what you need to do as a, like, action steps, whether they book or not book. Okay. They're even here. You can watch me do a sale with Paula Brown. I believe her name is Paula Brown. I literally like have my screen up. I call her. Like you can actually see everything on the screen. So yeah, I'm trying to make this as monkey see, monkey do as possible. Like just follow the process, and it freaking works. Okay. Okay. Anyway, that's a little preview. So for everyone who's inside school, you now have access to this and the strategy to book more cleans using pipeline stages, the standards to set, like everything you can think of is inside here. Okay. Yes, Bobby, this was going to help a lot. Like I think about Bobby and think about Pat Sinas. I think about Jacinta. When I'm making this, I'm like, some of the people I've had an opportunity to work with one-on-one, and I see where your guys' constraints are and what your problems are. Like it's in this training. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. So this is for you guys. Now, if you're not inside school, some of you guys are not inside school. James, drop the link for everybody so they can go look at how to get into school. By the way, everybody in here who's inside school, drop how much it is to be inside school. Drop the price. Scare the people away with how much it costs. Oh no, they're scaring people. You guys, I don't know if you guys can check the chat. Hopefully that doesn't scare you. Yes. Well, Jennifer, it's, yeah. Jennifer, you don't pay me $97 to be in this community. She was referencing Go High Level, which is fine. We'll talk about Go High Level here shortly. But you guys want to be part of the school community, James will drop the link. You guys can go join for free. Okay? So let's get back to the vision meeting though. So sales. Sales, good. Sales is important. Marketing and sales. Awesome. So let's talk about client fulfillment. So last week we did 36 cleans. Out of those 36 cleans, 16 were new and then 20 were reoccurring. Okay. Google reviews. I actually think this is wrong. I think we had 13 Google reviews last week. Oh, because 2 came in over the weekend. So if you guys also want to understand how to get lots of recurring clients, like Google reviews, delivering actually a 5-star experience. If you guys actually delivered a 5-star experience at every single clean, do you guys think that you guys would have more people who would want to book recurring cleans? That's how the game works. Okay. And also, just a little side note, inside school, there is a whole module dedicated to how to get Google reviews. Whole module. Okay. I actually just updated it again this weekend. I keep making it better. As I learn, I keep updating it. Some of you guys didn't realize that. Okay. I just keep making it better. So 11 Google reviews. We had 2 correction cleans. Okay. We'll talk about those. Okay. As far as cleaner acquisition is concerned, we spent $229 last week, and we had 38 applicants. We had 30 interviews. 8 of those interviews were scheduled. 4 showed up, and we hired 1. Okay. We onboarded 1 cleaner last week, and we have 2 cleaners that are in training. All right. So as far as our pipeline is concerned, Estella graduated. So she is now an official Sparkle boss. She's on the team. Tiffany and Kayla are in their 2nd week. They made it through their 2nd week. And so they're here, which is good. They're here for now. And then next week we have Mia, who is starting on the 16th. And so our goal is to have a couple more people who start with Mia as well. So this is our cleaner pipeline. This is how we ensure that we have at least 8 cleaners. Okay. As we continue to lose cleaners to the office, we got to replace them with suspective cleaners. Okay. And it's funny because like you guys can see Keziah and Megan back here, like the same thing I say to you guys is the same thing I say to them. Like I think that's actually been the most helpful thing, and maybe this will help you guys a lot, is like I speak no differently behind their backs as I speak to their faces. And that's just in general, like I just realized that telling the truth is way more fun than like having secrets. And sometimes like it was like, by the way, this took a long time. This took a decade for me to finally understand. And a lot of conversations with Katie when she's like, hey, I have this problem. Like, what should I say? I'm like, why don't we just tell the truth? Like, it's just so funny because when they're in it, we're just like, like, what's the advice? And like, it's the truth, I guess. And now that we've just have done that so many times, it has become more default than it has been us having to practice that. But in the beginning, it definitely took a lot of practice. It's like, can I really say that? Can I just tell the truth? Can I just like share the actual numbers? Like most of you guys are scared to like share your revenue or your profit or like how much money, whatever, right? Like, and I get it because I've been there. I've been like, I don't want them to realize not how much money I make, but how fucking poor I am. The funny part is that most of you guys are poorer than your employees. You guys have debt, right? That's the funny part, right? But eventually, it'll hopefully turn where you actually have some money, right? Eventually, you'll be like, then you're gonna be afraid of like how much money you have, right? You're like, should I let the people know that I actually have money? Like, yeah, yes, tell the truth. Right? Goes back to like, it's easier for you to just be in alignment with what is actually true rather than you having to like put on a different face in different situations. So again, I say it truly from like, I feel you because I've done it all the ways, right? And now it's just, to me, it's just almost easier just to tell the truth. Okay. And really, you attract people who want to be part of that, and you really repel people who don't want part of it. Like, it's very simple. Like, people either will love you or they hate you, but either way, they know exactly where you stand. Right? Okay. One-on-ones. Last week I did a one-on-one with Estella, and then for cleaners. So cleaners hours last week. Jocelyn had 31 hours, Rachel 25, Alyssa 21, Keziah, who's sitting there next to Katie, almost had 30.75. Great job, Keziah. Navy had none. Estella had 22, and then we had 2 trainees who got 30 and 27.5 hours. So that is cool. Let's see here. We averaged 28 hours per cleaner. And then our revenue per total hours was $53, and our goal is $55. So staying close there. Great job, Katie. Way to keep that revenue per hour high. Why is that important, Katie? Actually, you actually helped me with this a lot. It's like, why is it important for us to have a high revenue per hour?
Because we pay our cleaners with star pay, so they are on a revenue share. The higher the revenue collected, the higher their paychecks are.
So you can basically just give your cleaners a raise by you just charging more. And you also give yourself a raise at the same time. Like, that's why Star Pay works so well, is because it aligns incentives. Okay. So like the higher your hourly pay is, then the more the cleaners make per hour. So cool. And then 5-star reviews, 145. We actually have 147. This data actually stops on the 9th, which is Friday. But as of today, we actually have 147 Google reviews, which is pretty cool. Closing on 150. Go for it, Katie.
I was just gonna make a comment. Like, we have been in business for how many weeks? Did you say?
21.
21 weeks. 21 weeks. 21 weeks. And we have 145 Google reviews.
Yeah. It's a testament to focus. And like for every single cleaner that came on, like we made that the focus from day one of like, this is the goal. Like we saw the problems we had in Bozeman and we're trying to solve those problems in this location while we're like actually in the driver's seat, while we actually get to like be talking to clients and cleaners. We have like a lot of control. And as we start to, as Keziah comes in and Megan comes in, like we'll start to lose a little bit of control. Right. And for a lot of people, they can't handle that. They cannot not be in control. And so while we were in this phase, like we took advantage of it, documented what we were doing so we could teach the next person how to do it and practice some things and test some things. But really, like the number one goal we had when we started this location was how do we make it as easy as possible for everyone to work as hard as possible? And it came down to just simplicity. So it's like, how do we make it so it's really easy for the cleaners to work hard? It's like, the number one goal that they have going in every single client's home is to get a 5-star review. Because if the client gets if they deliver a 5-star experience, what's the probability that the client is going to be happy with that clean? You guys can type in the chat. Type in the chat. If the cleaner goes in there and delivers a 5-star experience, like my goal is to deliver a 5-star experience. And they do their best freaking job because they want to get that 5-star review. What's the probability that the client is that we're going to meet clients' expectations? Yeah. High. And if we meet clients' expectations, what's the probability of a client complaining? First off, what's the probability of a client booking a second cleaning, becoming recurring? Right. And what's the probability that the cleaner is also happy with their job as well when they're getting reinforced with a 5-star review? And they get to go back to a client who says, I want Keziah back again. So when we made everything based around one concept, I realized that everybody wins. The client wins, the cleaner wins, the office wins. When Katie goes to do a reoccurring and there's already a review sitting there, she calls the client, like, how excited is Katie to go call this client after there's already a review sitting there? What's the probability that client's going to rebook? What's the probability that client's going to be happy? What's the probability that is going to be a good conversation, a pleasant conversation, right? And so everything became the focus of the 5-star review. And so that's why you guys can see, like, that's why it's growing, is because we put attention on it. And so back to like what you focus on is going to be dependent on what your business actually does and where it grows. Most of you guys are focused on like, I'm actually not going to talk about it. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're going to focus on what we want to see more of, not what we were trying to, not what we want to see less of. Okay, and attention is what people desire. And so you can either give people the attention you want to see, or you give them the attention of reinforcing them what you don't want to see more of. And that's what punishing people do. That's what, when you point fingers at people, like you're reinforcing, you're giving people attention for things you don't want to see more of, and you wonder why they keep doing it. If you keep giving attention to the thing you don't want to see more of, that's why punishing doesn't work. Why punishing doesn't work long term. So that's why the Google reviews are so important. Okay. And it's just a bonus that the cleaners also make more money when they get the 5-star reviews. Okay. It's the reminder. Okay. So we had a couple client complaints. Dang it. Even with all those reviews, we still had a couple complaints. All right. What is this? Laura and Stephanie Victor. Oh, yeah. They had never. Oh, yeah. This was actually Keziah. So that's funny. How funny is that? Keziah, you're bad. You're bad. No, just joking. So these guys were actually referrals from a different cleaning company, and they actually have had a different cleaner at every single clean. And then they must have like some like personal issues going on, because like the husband and the wife were like they were like They were like talking like they didn't talk to each other. It was like very interesting. Like if Victor wants you guys to come back, fine, but I'm locking the door and nobody can, you guys can come in my house anymore. Like it was just like very interesting. So anyway, we'll chalk it up to just a crazy client. Erica Wright was actually my bad. It was my issue. I just undersold the job. And yeah, we had to do a reclean plus a 10% discount. So that was actually an office complaint more than it was a cleaner complaint. So yeah, Logan. Cool. All right, we had 2 canceled recurring clients. Yeah. This is what it was. This was referring to this message. I don't want any other offers. I found many other stuff today in the house that are bad. I'm the owner of the house, so that means that if the other person, Victor, wants to maintain the contact for his future interests, is not permitted to enter the entrance for cleaning to my house. Have a good night. With respect, Tiffany. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on there, but it's fine. And then Tiffany Paisley, I don't know what happened with her. She was actually somebody who I sold like way back in the beginning. So
it was personal things, nothing on our end.
Yeah, and most time it is, guys. Just so you guys understand, like 99% of the time when people cancel is less to do with us and more to do with their situation, whether it's their money problems, whether it's their schedule problems, whether it's their personal problems, whatever it is. Like 99% of the time it's them. Like we're trying to do as good a job as we possibly can. However, like majority of the time when people cancel is like they have stuff going on. Like it's okay. Now we try to learn what we can so we can get better. But just so you guys understand, most of the time it's like other people have other things going on. And just so you guys know, also, these people who sign up for recurring is less to do with Katie and more just to do with like there's somebody who wants the service. So also like if we're gonna not take accountability for the bad, then let's not, just understand the accountability for the bad and the good. That's really all it is. Okay. So we also had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people sign up for recurring. So we netted 6. We netted 6, which is good. Okay, and we have some discounts down here. We had somebody who came off our homepage booking form that we get $50 to. We had some correction cleans. We had a 10% discount, and we had a cleaning for a reason. So if you guys don't know what cleaning for a reason is, we clean cancer patients' homes for free. And this girl is Rachel McHugh. When she did her first clean, she actually paid money for her first clean. We found out that she was going through cancer, and we actually gave her her second clean for free. So that's where you see that discount right there. So, okay. That is week number 21 of Mesa 5-star cleaning. So before I before I close my browser, Katie, tell me your thoughts, and I'm gonna like check the chat here, see if there's anything happening.
Yeah, I'm just super excited to have humans in the office. So am
I not a human?
No, you are a human.
Yes, right. I'm a beast, an animal. You guys hear that? You guys hear that? I'm not human.
Human like humans in the office. Normal humans in the office. I'm super excited because my focus shifts now from the doing to the leading, which can be intimidating because I don't know why I do what I do sometimes. I don't know where I pull out random discounts from. So creating systems behind it all has been so helpful. Tyler Stowers made a comment about part robot, part gorilla, part cookie dough. Nailed it. He made a comment about like the growth of Mesa has helped so many businesses just because we've tightened systems. We've actually put written systems behind what we do, and I'm so excited to just give the reins to another human and honestly watch. Like, I am not special. I know I can make 200 calls a week and book a bunch of cleans, but to watch Megan step in week 1, like knock it out of the park and make 169 calls or however many she made and book 11 new cleans was just like the reinforcement that I needed in order to have faith in ourselves. And now to watch Keziah come in and this girl's just like, let me find all the solutions for everything. Okay, let's have her find all the solutions for everything. Here's a template to work off of and go. So getting to press go it's exciting. We spent a few weeks in the trenches, and when you get punched in the face all the time, it's not fun. It's hard work, as Tyler would say. It's hard. So getting yourself out of it and letting other people get punched in the face and then supporting them when it does happen, I'm excited about.
It's funny because Kate and I talked about this. This was like the place where I came into Bozeman. So again, if you guys don't know our story, Katie ran Bozeman 5-star cleaning. I actually was still running the gym, and I was also like heavy into buying, acquiring, putting deals together on the real estate side. And once we got out of the gym space and we decided we were not going to buy any more real estate for the time being, I decided to start helping with Bozeman, but Bozeman was already at like $35,000 or $40,000 a month. And so I totally missed 0 to 35. And so when we started this business, like I was very hesitant, like 6 months of me like pushing back on advice that we were getting from one of our mentors that we should start the second location, because I had just never done it. I had never gone from 0 to 35, and I was going to be, the person who was in the driver's seat. I was going to be the GM. I was going to do the sales calls. I was going to be onboarding cleaners, hiring. I was going to be doing the do. Kitty obviously she was going to actually be in the field, so she started out by cleaning. And so yeah, I would say that the first month or two was just different because I'd never done it before. My confidence was low, and there was times where I wanted to give, I wanted to stop, I wanted to say poor me, and Katie was there to help me because she had been through this, right? She helped me. She actually encouraged me so much, and it was awesome. Like the only reason we got to here is because Katie was very encouraging, because she had a lot of confidence because she had already done it once. And so now that we're here at 35 or 30, excuse me, I'm like so excited. I'm like chopping at the bit. I'm like, I know I've done this before. I know how to get this thing to go from 30 to 100 again. And Katie Katie was still in the operator position when that was happening. And now she's actually going to be the person who's coaching the 30 to 100,000. And so it's new for her. So she's nervous. She's scared. And so it's going to, like, my game plan, my plan, just so Katie knows, everybody else knows, is like, just to support her and let her know that she can freaking do it. Right? Like we've done it before. Maybe she hasn't been the one who's been the actual coach, but like I can help her coach. And ultimately, like she has the skills. She doesn't even need me. She can do this regardless. Like she's helped other people in this community grow their businesses. Now, like help grow your own business is actually easier because you have more control. You have more influence. Okay. So it's just cool to understand that, like, if you guys have not grown your businesses to a certain revenue mark, like of course you feel scared, you feel uncomfortable, you haven't done it before. Like that makes you a human. And so how you can give yourself the advantage is to be around other people who have done that thing, who are encouraging you and say, you know what, going from 20 to 40,000, I remember how that felt, but you can do it. Like if I did it, you can do it. Okay. And that's honestly why we built a freaking community. That's why we built the school community, so you could be around other people who want to do cool shit. Now, if you don't want to do cool things and you want to keep a small business and you want to be a doer and you don't want to actually have like a business that operates without you, like the school community is not for you. It's not for solopreneurs. That's not this business model. This business model is for you to trust other people, for you to teach other people, for you to show that with your money by hiring them, with your time by putting your butts next to them, and believing that it's going to pay off in the long run. And also, like this business will grow. It only grows with people. It only grows with people. And so if your business is stuck, it's because it's just about you. And like you're not bringing on new people. You're not giving people opportunity. You're not letting people acquire more skills. Maybe that's because you actually don't have the skills yet, which is also what the school community can solve for you, is giving you skills. You guys saw some of those modules in there? Like there's modules on marketing and sales and recruiting and star pay and how to get reviews. Sure, there's more things. Go high level. ZenMade, right? There's trainings in there on how to actually be a $1 million cleaning business owner. And as you guys who are not inside the cleaning community or inside the school community saw earlier, it costs $0. It's for free. Okay. Now, there are some rules though. Okay. Not everybody gets in. Okay. This is Fight Club. There are rules. Okay. Actually, this is not Fight Club. There are rules, right? Because Fight Club, there are no rules. There are rules. Okay. The number one rule must be a cleaning business owner. Number one rule. Okay, so everyone in the community is a cleaning business owner, which gives it value in itself. Okay, we don't have people in there who are doing, what are they doing? They're doing, what are their home services? I'm trying to think of, lawn mowing. Like, no one in there does lawn mowing. Okay, no one in there does organizing. Okay, everyone in there is a residential cleaning business owner. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step, you must be using Go High Level. Okay, we're all using the same systems. Think of this like a franchise. So Have any of you guys ever looked at a franchise? Do you guys understand like the value of franchise? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah. Some of you guys have. For you guys who have never looked into a franchise or don't know anything about a franchise, the value of a franchise is that you have a model that has been proven. This model has been proven in different markets, in different areas, is proven to create some sort of success, whatever that is. Okay. Every franchise will say, this is what this franchise did. Here's our average franchise revenues, our average franchise profits. Like that's the benefit you get when you create a franchise is they give you like real numbers. Okay. And so the idea of this school community is we're creating a franchise. Okay. We're creating a franchise where we're all using the same system, and that system is proven to grow a business to $1 million. Like that's the ideal. It's not there yet, but that's the ideal. And so the reason that I do it for free is because we're still testing the model, we're still improving the model. As I just showed you guys, I'm constantly improving, I'm constantly testing. We ourselves have 2 locations that are definitely like we're still growing them, but there's 90 other cleaning business owners in this community that are also using the system and they're growing and testing it. Okay. But the idea is that we're creating a franchise that you get for free. Okay. Now, I actually have gone through a franchise process because I was like just genuinely curious. And so most of you guys inside the cleaning industry have heard of Molly Maid, right? How many of you guys have heard of Molly Maid before? Raise your hand or put in the chat if you guys have heard of Molly Maid. Okay, they're probably one of the biggest cleaning franchises out there. Okay, and so I went through the process because I just actually wanted to learn about franchising. And so I got on a call with the sales rep. I got all their stuff. Okay, I asked them some questions. And so, Molly Maid at the time, I talked to them, had 496 franchises. Let's just call it 500 for easy math. Okay, they had 500 franchises. Out of those 496 franchises, they actually had 226 franchise owners, which means that some of those franchise owners actually owned multiple locations. Okay, 91 were solo. 59 of those people operated 2, 44 operated 3, 18 operated 4, 5 operated 5, 6, 2 and 7, and 1 operated 8. Okay, those were just the numbers. Now, as you guys can see here, you can kind of see like a breaking point. I would say that it looks like about 3 locations is where you can start to see that there's like maybe it gets harder, right? Just looking at this data, about 44 people, 3, and then only 18 went to 4. So it's kind of a big drop off, right? So I'm like between 2 and 3, that's where somebody started, like somebody got their systems tested a little bit. Okay, that's what I saw from that data. Anyway, that's not the point I'm trying to make. But for royalty fees, so if you guys don't know this, but a franchise they take royalty fees. Okay, and those royalty fees come off your revenue. So how much revenue does a location make? Well, let's scroll down here because I actually have this data. So let's just talk about single territory owners. So the average gross sales for a Molly Maid franchise for a single territory operator was $646,000. Okay, so if we actually do the monthly breakdown on that, 646,000 divided by 12, that means they're making $53,000 a month. Okay, median 564. Let's see what this is. 564 divided by 12, $47,000 a month. And the highest gross sales was $3 million. So one location making $3 million. That's dope. Somebody was cranking, right? The lowest gross sales, somebody was making $118,000. So just so you guys know that you guys are making more money than a franchise owner. I bet some of you guys, how many of you guys in here are making more than $10,000 a month? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're making more than $10,000 a month. Cool. Well, you're making more money than the worst franchise owner in Molly Maid. Okay? So it's good for you, right? Because you know why? Because you probably didn't pay a franchise fee. How many of you guys realize that not only do you pay gross, so on that money, so on $9,800, so this person who is making $118,000, they're paying a 6% royalty fee every month. They're paying out $588 every single month to the franchise. Okay? Now, what are their franchise fees? Okay, so you guys actually can click through here and you actually can see the franchise fees. So these are their startup costs. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with all this because I've gone through this, but their initial franchise fee is $14,000. However, it's very, very misleading. Like $14,000, that's a good price. Like, hold up. Then you have a territory fee of $1 per household in your territory. Okay, now this is the key. $1 per household doesn't seem like a lot until you actually count your households. Okay. And so I actually did this in Bozeman when I was looking at this. And you can see right here, territory fees typically range from $45,000 to $70,000 for a standard size market, and $30,000 to $45,000 for a mid-sized market. So additionally, $15,000 plus, let's just say the lower end, another $45,000. Let's just say 15. That would be $60,000 as a startup, just as a startup cost, guys. Just startup. Okay. But wait, there's more. Okay. Then you got to pay for their software. Again, there's license fee. There's a 3 to 6% gross sales. They have their software fees they put in there. And they also, I'm not going to scroll through this too much, but you also have to buy cars as well with this specific franchise. But with that being said, even if you didn't buy, even if you didn't have to buy a car, how many of you guys would like to spend $45,000? Sorry. Just to start business? How many of you guys like to do that? You would start, $60,000. You would start negative $60,000 just to get started. That's how much a franchise costs, conservatively. And just so you guys know, like, it actually costs it costs a lot more because there's other fees that they build in. But let's just say as a very conservative $60,000. Yeah. Buy, right? And so the idea that we're doing in the school community is building a franchise that you guys pay $0 for. Here's the truth. As the system and model keeps getting proven more, like some of you guys see our first location does $100,000 a month. Like, cool. You guys, once you guys see this location in a couple more months and it's doing $1 million, you're like, dang. Then you guys see people like Kayla Irby, who's doing $1 million using the system. You're like, dang. You start to see Jessica Lucas and Jacinta as their businesses grow up to $1 million. You're like, dang. You see Renee Krause, dang. Right. All of a sudden you start to stack these together. All of a sudden there becomes more value in the system. Okay. Now my goal in the very beginning is to get as many people into the system, to use the system for us to learn what doesn't work and what does work. And honestly, the more volume that comes through the system, the higher probability that the cream rises to the top. So if you feel like you're a stud and you're not inside this community, well, get inside the community because we need you. We need you to help you grow this thing. Okay. And you can get a lot of help from the people in there who have already solved a lot of the problems that you've solved.